Alright, so our title for today, the distributive property, and our learning target says I can use the distributive property to solve equations with parentheses. So, you're probably wondering, what is the distributive property? Well, here it is. And I'm going to write it in algebraic terms.
Yeah.
It's written like this. A times B plus C equals A times B plus A times C. What? What does that mean? If we do an example with numbers, it might seem a little bit more clear. So A is a variable. It just represents any number. So I could rewrite this as 2 times 3 plus 7 equals what? 2 times?
3 plus 7. And that's
Well, that's what it says right now.
Yeah,
So
two
just rewrite.
2 times 3
Yeah.
plus 3 plus 7.
2 times 3 plus, now notice it says A times C. What is my A?
2
2
times 7.
times 7.
2.
Right? This is the distributive property. Do you believe that this is really true?
No.
Let's see. So 2 times 3 plus 7. Would you agree that 3 plus 7 is 10?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah?
So would you agree this says 2 times 10,
Yeah.
20.
which is 20? Can that really equal 2 times 3 plus 2 times 7?
Yes.
What is 2 times 3?
2 times 3 is
6.
6.
What is 2 times 7?
14. Oh, it is.
What is 6 plus 14?
20.
See?
Boom.
They
I
really
said yes.
are equal.
I said yes. You could
They
rewind
really
that.
are
I said
equal.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, it's not very common in algebra to see the distributive property with all numbers. Usually we will see an x of some sort. So often, when we see the distributive property, it'll look more like this. 5 times x plus 3.
Does it give us the
So
answer?
notice A is a number here, B is still a variable,
So you do.
and then C has turned into a number. This is kind of the most common form you'll see them. So how could I simplify this? Yeah.
You can do 5 times x.
5 times
And
x,
then
which
5
is
times, 15.
5x,
5x, sorry. And then 5 times 3,
which
which
is,
is 15. And then
and that's all I can do.
you divide.
There's nothing I can do because I don't have two sides of my equation. So in this case, all I have, this is called an expression, because there's no equals sign, and all I can do is I can say this expression equals something a little bit simpler. And this is called simplifying. Okay? So an example of a problem you might see would be something like this. Simplify 3 times x plus 12. How would you simplify that? What do we notice? Does this look like something we could use the distributive property on?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. We have something outside the parentheses that's multiplied times two things inside the parentheses. Yeah.
So you do 3 times x, which is 3x, and then 3 times 12.
Which is?
36.
And that's it. I've simplified this into this. Notice how I use these little arrows or lines to help me keep track of what I'm multiplying by. You guys notice that? So in your notes, you should practice writing those in. So I have 3x plus 36. What if we had something like this? Simplify 4 times 2x minus 3. Looks a little bit different. We still have one term here and one term here. Right? So I can still take my 4, multiply it times my first term, and multiply it
8x.
times my second term. Yeah, okay. So let's draw my little arrows. 4 times this, 4
8x.
times this. What is 4 times 2x?
8x.
8x. And I'm just going to keep the minus. So I'm just going to say
minus
minus. What is 4 times
12.
3? 12. That's it. I've done it. I've simplified that. What if the number in front of the parentheses had a negative? Let's look and see what happens. So what if I said simplify negative 2 times 7x plus 11? I'm going to take the whole thing when I distribute. I'm going to take the whole negative 2.
Negative
So what is
14x.
negative 2 times 7x? Negative 14x. What is negative 2 times 11?
22. Negative 22.
Negative 22. So I would write plus negative 22. Is there a simpler way of writing plus negative 22? Isn't that just the same thing as this? It is. Plus a negative is the same thing as minus. Make sure you have all 3 of these examples written down because they're each showing different things. Now let's check in on our learning target. I can use the distributive property. Can you use the distributive property?
Yes. No.
Yeah, we just did it. We just used the distributive property to solve equations with parentheses. Have we done that?
Yes.
Is this an equation?
No. Yeah. No. Yes. Yeah.
Why is it or why is it not? Raise your hand if you have an idea about that.
Wait, what was the question?
Is
Is that an
this an
equation?
equation?
Yes,
Okay, what makes it an equation?
the parentheses.
So anything with parentheses is going to be an
No.
equation.
Well,
Is
no.
that your hypothesis?
No, well, there's numbers in parentheses with an addition
Well,
sign.
that just
The
No.
addition sign, that makes it an equation.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
What does the word equation sound like?
Equator.
Equal.
Equals. What does an equation need to have?
An equal sign.
Yeah, so is this an equation?
No.
No.
This is called an expression.
Oh.
Okay? It's a
Expression.
combination of terms, but it has no equal sign. An equation is 2 expressions that are set equal to it. Can I solve this?
Yeah. No.
No, all I can do is what we said, simplify. I can simplify this into this. I can't solve it. You can't solve anything that's not an equation. Okay? So in algebra, when we say solve, we mean something really specific. Let's take a look at an equation that we can solve. Okay. Let's say we had this. 2 times x minus 5 equals 10. Is this an equation?
Yes.
So if they gave us the instruction solve for x, would we be able to do that?
Yes.
We can now because we know the distributive property. Now, the way that I want you to solve these is to use the distributive property. So you're going to take this times this, and this times this. What is 2 times x?
2x.
2x. Would you agree that 2x is 2 times x?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you should have written that down in your notes. What is 2 times 5?
10.
Yeah, and what do I have in between those?
A negative.
Yeah, a minus sign actually, right? 2x minus 10. And then this doesn't change, right? Notice the distributive property only affects what's in parentheses. So the equals 10 does not change at all. Does this look like something you guys know how to solve?
Yeah.
Totally. How would you solve that?
Oh!
Ew!
First-
Ew!
First, what's our first step? Raise your hand.
You add 10.
Add 10 to both sides. So now this part is review, right? You've known how to do this part. It's just the first step that's really new. Okay, I add 10 to both sides, so I have 2x minus 10 plus 10, that's just 2x. 10 plus 10.
Equals 20, then divide by 2.
Now I'm going to divide both sides by 2.
And the final answer is x equals 10.
Yay!
X
Bruh.
equals 20 divided by 2
No,
is
let's
10.
not, no.
I'm not.
We
All right.
algebra.
X equals 10 is my answer to that. Let's just plug it in to see if that really makes sense.
It does.
Okay. So my original equation said 2 parentheses x, I think x is 10, minus 5 equals 10. Well, now I can just combine 10 minus 5 inside my parentheses. What is 10 minus 5?
50. Oh,
Five.
sorry.
5. So does 2 times 5 equal 10?
Yes.
Does 10 equal 10?
Yes.
Yes. So this really did work. Okay, it really gave us an answer that makes this equation true. The value of x that makes the equation true. Alright. Let's do one more example. Say we had something like this. 3x, actually let's do this. Negative 3x minus 5 equals 27.
Are you trying to solve this?
Yeah, so we're going to solve for x, same instruction. I guess I'll rewrite it. What am I going to do?
Negative 3 times x.
Is negative 3x.
Okay?
And a
And
negative
then-
times a negative is a positive. So we're going to do
Positive
positive
15
Yeah, plus 15, right?
Yes.
equals 27. And then add, and then
Subtract.
subtract 15 from both sides.
Subtract 15 from both sides. You guys are doing great. So we have negative 3x plus 15 minus 15, which is
Negative
0.
3x.
negative 3x.
And 27 minus 15 is 12.
Okay, what's the last thing I have to do to get
Divide
x?
by
Divide.
3.
Divide by 3?
Divide by negative 3.
Divide by negative 3.
And I don't really get divided by a negative, so.
So
It's
negative
just
3x divided by negative 3, those cross out, leaving me x.
Oh. Negative 4.
What is 12 divided by negative 3?
Negative 4?
Yeah, a positive divided by a negative is a negative. 12 divided by 3 is 4.
Yay!
And that's it.
Negative 4.
That's all there is to it.
I slippered. Jacob lost the slipper.